Hello everybody, thank you so much for stopping by. This is NAKIE and this is Cook with NAKIE. On today's menu we are making bean stew. This is an easy recipe to follow. Let's get started. In the pot I'm adding my red oil. Use any oil of your choice. I prefer using the red oil when I'm making bean stew, but sometimes I use like vegetable oil, but this is what I'm going for today. I'm adding half sliced onions to the oil. The onion cook for about 1 to 2 minutes, and yeah, after that I'm going to be adding my blended vegetables. It's been 2 minutes, but make sure within the 2 minutes you're stirring in so the onions don't burn. I'm now adding my blended tomatoes, scotch bonnet pepper, and onion. Yeah, this is really basic. I didn't add anything fancy, anything extra. But if you love ginger and if you love garlic, you could add it. You could add anything that you prefer and blend it. But yeah, this is really basic. So if you want to make stews that it's not too complicated, follow this recipe and trust me, you're gonna love it. My stew has been cooking under medium heat for about 20 minutes now. As you can see, most of the moisture has evaporated, and that's exactly how you want it to look like. I'm adding my smoked tuna. At this point, you could use any fish of your choice. Sometimes if I don't have any fish in my freezer, I use the canned mackerel. But today I had mackerel. I baked my own fresh mackerel today, so I'm going to be adding that in a minute. But you could use the mackerel in the can, and it's really, really good too. So if you don't have any fish, just use the canned mackerel, and trust me, it's going to turn out really good. So this is my macro. I actually bake a lot. This is one of it. It's really, really hot at this point. I'm just trying to take the bones in the middle, and I'm going to add it to the stew. Also, to let you know, if you're using macro to do any kind of stew, aside the big bone in the middle, there's also this little ones around it. So if you're making it for kids, you want to go extra and take that little bones out of it. All right. And I'm adding my mackerel to the stew. And at this point, you have your tomato stew. Like you could enjoy this with anything that you prefer, like rice, yam, anything. But since we're making bean stew, I'm going to be adding my beans. And this is my cooked beans, and this is how the texture look. I like my bean stew to be really mushy, like really on the soft side. So I always cook the beans to extra soft. Sometimes I'll mash a little bit of the beans to give it that mushy texture, but this is fine. It was really soft. So after I put in the beans, I'm also going to let it cook for a little bit to give it that mushy texture. But if you don't, you could cook it to the texture that you prefer. I also added one shrimp tablet. Feel free to use any seasoning of your choice. And I'm adding my beans, cooked beans to the stew now. And I'm giving this a stir to make sure the tomato based stew and the beans are all mixed together. This is one of the easiest way to make your beans stew. If you love beans stew, trust me, you will never go wrong with this. After stirring, I covered it and let it cook under low heat for about 10 to 15 minutes. And look at that. The oil is on top and look how mushy that looks. Exactly perfect for your plantain, perfect for your rice, perfect for your yam, perfect for anything that you want to eat your beef stew with. And it tastes really good. I tasted for salt and I needed a little bit in it. So yeah, always make sure you taste before you add your salt to it. And always it's good to add your salt after you put your seasoning. Make sure you don't add the salt first because some of the seasoning have salt in it. So you might want to add your seasoning first, then your salt. And that's it. My beef stew is ready. I enjoyed this bean stew with some fried yam, and I love the crispy one, of course, and it was so good. You could have it with your ripe plantain, the fried one, boiled one, yeah, whatever you want, and trust me, you will love it. Alright everybody, thank you so much for watching this video. Please give me a thumbs up if you loved it, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Until I come your way next time, this is Cook with NAKIE. Be good to yourself, be good to everyone. It goes a long way.